Electrical, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Geetham deemed to be University, Bengaluru campus. Today's session one topic is on PTC's AR platforms with industry customer matrices, handling by Sri Suresh Perincheri, partner, technical manager, PTC India. I welcome you, sir, for today's session.
Thank you. I think there are 34 participants, including panelists. Should we wait or we can start?
And we can wait for some couple of minutes.
Okay, fine. I think Mr. Mandar has raised his hand.
Yes, sir, he has put one question in the chat box also. Q&A also has posted one question.
Yeah, you can ask question, please.
Yeah, so good morning, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you said, I was downloading that app, Euphoria, but it says my HTC 628 doesn't support that app. So is there any hardware restrictions for using this app?
No.
Okay. But it says your phone doesn't support this app.
Euphoria View, is it?
Yeah. For HTC 628. So I thought I just asked.
HTC 628.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually, there is no restrictions.
Okay. So,
did you try with another phone in your house?
No, I will try.
Just try.
Okay.
We have another software called Euphoria Chalk that has got compatibility with only phones which has got AR kit or AR core technology. Yeah. But this does not have like that.
Okay.
But maybe you can check with another
phone. I will check with other phone at my home. Maybe by today evening I will just get back to you.
And if another phone is working, you please send me the details of this phone. Okay. I will check with our people here.
Sure, I will send the details to you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think we can start now, madam.
Yes, sir. We have 40 attendees. We can start the session.
Okay, so let me share my PPT. ഞാനത് വെച്ച് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. There is some MCB problem in my house, so electrician has come, so some disturbance. Okay. Let me. Hope you are seeing my PPT.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah. So if the participants are common participants,
Yes, sir.
then yeah, okay. So then just I wanted to refresh that yesterday we looked at the industry 4.0 and digital transformation as the first topic in the first session. And then we saw what is the potential of IoT and AR. And then we also saw what are the use cases of AR. We saw that the highest out of the highest high value 5 use cases, yeah, the best use cases or more used use cases are for manufacturing, service, and sales and marketing. So with all that knowledge in the previous day, now let's look at I represent PTC. PTC had a full form earlier. We started this company in 1988. It was called as Parametric Technology Corporation. But then now it is listed as PTC in Kaolni. There is no expansion for that. So we are the first company to bring parametric technology in CAD. So that's how this name came. So we are having the world's #1 AR platform, which is Vuforia and its other brothers and sisters, which I will walk you through. So which I would like you to see. So since 2010, we have been evangelizing IoT and AR to a great extent. And what we are trying to do is that we do not want IoT and AR to be, presented or used in silos by companies. Wherever industries are already using CAD and PLM and ERP, we wanted to integrate everything together, take information, have a connected digital landscape, which I have shown in one of the presentations, so that we seamlessly connect each and every information about a product development and leverage that for IoT and AR as well. So the first solution, what I would like to showcase is called expert capture. So remember in AR, in training, you would have seen that there is a remote assistance as one of the use cases. So even for service also there is a remote assistance. And I was also giving you example of the ventilator UK challenge, where this technology was used by other companies from automotive and other domains, could understand how to assemble a ventilator, how to test and validate, so that the supply was enough as per the demand. So expert capture is the technology which they used, which is also part of our Vuforia platform. Vuforia is our platform for augmented reality. So basically it helps in improving the training and work instructions. So usually this company called Allergen. So what they had, the challenge is that their trainings and documentation methods were quite inefficient. And by the time the new hires got trained, it was taking a longer time. Only once they are completely trained, they would be able to contribute to the business, and thus the productivity of the new hires, by the time it came, it was taking longer time. And secondly, their current training method was limited to one instructor, or maybe one or more than one instructor, with printed documentation. Then the expert knowledge with the subject matter experts, that remained with select group of within the company. It was not, captured in a system and made available to everyone. So it was like these SMEs had to do the training. with printed documentation. And the knowledge was not able to be scaled efficiently. Plus, they also wanted the existing on-the-job work instructions to be improved. So the solution which they went for is Vuforia Expert Capture, with which requires this RealWear headsets. You can see in the picture here, this is a RealWear headset. So here with Vuforia Expert Capture, they created step-by-step training materials and work instructions. That means these subject matter experts created all the training steps step by step, which included whatever he is doing. It takes the video of that, which also included snapshots of certain things which he wants to convey, and which also included his audio while doing various steps. So all these things, this RealWear headset captures while he is doing that, and then that is edited in Vuforia Expert Capture editor by putting additional labels and additional formats, etc. And then it is published so that another person who is a new hire or a new trainee, he can wear the same RealWear and get all these step-by-step instructions with which he can be very comfortably doing his training and understanding the complexity of whatever process or product he is dealing with. So this company got very good outcomes. Their documentation became very less, and their training time also was significantly reduced. They could scale the subject matter experts experience to the entire organization. So with this technology, all the subject matter experts were given the task to capture all their intrinsic knowledge and make it available with the help of Vuforia Expert Capture, so that it was made available organization wide. And then it helped to provide access to instant on the job work instructions. So this is the benefit, and this is the challenge which they faced, which was elevated by this technology. So they have also given a statement saying that Vuforia Expert Capture is easy to use and accessible, which makes the adoption by the technicians much easier. And it is a new technology. It uses good gadgets, and they were quite excited to record and share these augmented procedures. So ultimately, it improved the customers' training and service requirements. Then this is the ventilator challenge which I was talking about. So here, this company called Smiths, they make this ProPack 310 ventilator, and they can produce 5,000 units. Now, what happened was, because of the COVID challenge, they were not able to cater to the demand. So then they, GK and Aerospace, which is totally into an aerospace company, their assembly facility was 50% of their production, which was not happening. Those assembly facilities, they converted to an assembly plant for assembling the Smiths ProPack ventilator. So this required these assembly workers to be trained on an entirely new process, because it is a ventilator and they are dealing with aerospace. And each assembly process takes 24 hours per ventilator. So how they did it? The subject matter experts from Smith's company, they used Vuforia Expert Capture and transfer that knowledge with the help of mobiles or tablets or computers or Microsoft HoloLens to not only GK and Aerospace, actually, many other companies which were involved in this UK ventilator change. Thus, they could meet the demand of ventilators in this COVID-19 period. Again, another company called Bretting. Now, they also had some of the same challenges: inefficient training and documentation methods, and cost of service is very high on on-site visits with fewer experts. So same example I was also giving of Toyota, where subject matter expert sits somewhere and gives them, remote assistance. So for that we use another technology. Here, the people who go to on-site will carry these expert instructions, which is captured using Vuforia expert capture, and they are on their own. They wear the real wear, and they, with the step-by-step instructions which it gives, they're able to clearly do the step-by-step operation and service instructions as per the standard operating procedure. And they got tangible benefits. Their number of service visits reduced by 25%. Their documentation and training time reduced by 50%. And they also have this intangible benefit where their employee and customer experience improved. So this is a company called Bretting. So they say they are an OEM in the paper converting industry. They invested heavily to make their operations of their equipment and to help their customers. And that they saw that 90% of the value was driven from the customer usage of these technologies. Another company, which is Global Foundries. So what they have done, they have embraced augmented reality across its worldwide factories. So this helped in the productivity improvements of the workers and also helped them to be very competitive in the marketplace. Again, they used expert capture, wherein they are able to capture the wisdom of the senior workforces, and which is then given to the all the workforce on the factory floor. So you can see the person wearing a HoloLens and doing the step-by-step instructions. So again, they had the same problems. Critical procedures were performed incorrectly by inexperienced operators. So ultimately, a company, there are three things which any company looks for: reduction of cost, increase of revenue and profit, and also increase of quality. So with training, proper training, with real time and digital documentation, their the otherwise labor intensive procedures were all taken off, and the step-by-step instructions for machine setups and changeovers, which was created using Vuforia expert capture, resulted in reducing the cost of scrap by 25%, reducing the downtime of all the machines by 28%, reducing the training cost by 50%, and their documentation became 10 times faster. Because it's very easy. A subject matter expert wears this real wear and he does what he knows. He has been experienced for the so many years. So he does it fast. And as he does it, it is being captured. It's as simple as that. And some minor modifications or fine tuning or making it a little more attractive, we can do it with the Vuforia expert capture editor, which is the middle step, and then publish it for others to use it. And again, here they have given a lot of metrics: 50% reduction in training time and 10 times faster documenting the standard operating procedures. So that was Vuforia expert capture. Next solution is Studio. So Vuforia expert capture, just you understand, I am not showing any demo videos in this session. In the next session, you will see the demo videos. I will show you proper demo videos of each of these solutions, right? So Vuforia expert capture. So Vuforia is PTC's AR platform. In that, Vuforia expert capture is what you have seen and how companies have got benefited. It is mainly used for capturing the knowledge of a subject matter expert so that that can be easily used by all the other people for going through the step-by-step instructions, and be it training, be it for service, be it for operation, or be it for assembly, for anything. that step-by-step instructions can be used. So UK ventilator challenge is one example I gave. We also have are doing these activities in few companies in India. We did it for Railtel, where they wanted the railways, they wanted those step-by-step procedures, to be captured, and that is made available to all the railway workers who deal with the complexities of the railway lines and the signals and all the stuff. Then we also went to Dr. Reddy's, that is now in the process of creation. So Dr. Reddy's, all their procedures they want to capture with Woo4 expert capture and make it available to each and every employee, so that things are done faster, accurately, and with ease of use. Now comes our another next solution, which is called as Woo4 Studio. So in expert capture, actually, how is the information captured? Whatever the expert is doing, it is captured through an camera. The sound, whatever is speaking, the image, whatever is doing, it is captured through a camera, and it collaborates everything together, right? Makes it quite lightweight, and then we publish it to be made available either in mobile, computer, tab or iPad, or HoloLens, or these eyewears. Now Studio is mainly used by discrete manufacturing companies, companies which make products, companies which have all their products in the digital format created using CAD. So for example, Creo is our CAD platform. So all these companies, like if you would have seen a small example which I was showing on Caterpillar, where one service engineer was trying to rectify the blockage in the fuel filter. So there they have the entire equipment as well as those fuel filter assembly components, etc. Everything they have it already in the digital format designed in CAD. And that is leveraged to create such experiences, AR experiences, which can be visualized through mobile, iPad, or HoloLens. So here, either they should have some form of CAD data. Either they create in-house or they get it done outside, whatever it is. And it could be in any format. It can be in Creo format, or it can be any other CAD format, or it could be in neutral format also, STEP or IGS or whatever. So what we do is, whatever format you get the CAD data, we convert into a format which Vuforia Studio understands, as well as it becomes 95% to 97% lighter. So that because this data has to stream from device to cloud and back to the device. So it cannot be a heavy data like the original CAD data. So retaining all the geometry and texture and color and the animations which is built into that, this data is used for creating the experiences. So Vuforia Studio, let's look at some customer examples. Atlas Copco, which is a global compressor company, I think #1 in the world. There, the challenge was the service technicians needed to understand a wide portfolio of their products. And the training methods had to be augmented so that their onboarding of new engineers can be supported. Plus, the upskilling of existing people also was required. So what they did was they adopted Vuforia Studio to create a immersive AR training experiences for the service technicians. So with this Vuforia Studio experience, all the service technicians, their learning got enhanced. Their hands-on training could be delivered without an instructor. Plus, if you have information in 2D, it has to be converted into a 3D format. If you say in a 3D format, then um, even though it is said it is 3D format, say for example, if you convert it into a video, it is not actually 3D, it is still 2D. But and if it is, maybe VR technology could also be used, but VR technology again is completely virtual. It is not something which we use it in the physical context. So they went for AR, and all their 2D documentation on training and service, they could easily convert into this augmented digital experience, which was made available in any of those devices. So here they say that the employees are now able to have better familiarity with the products and the know-how. When they see the different step-by-step instructions directly in front of them in the physical context, that gives them a much better understanding of the product, even much better than a photo can. Another example is Volvo Group. Now here they have used Vuforia Studio for quality control. Here you see Volvo's engines are very sophisticated, and the inspection procedures are very complex and lengthy, and usually it is a paper-based process. And for new operators, making them go through all these complex inspection procedures took a lot of time, and they have to verify that multiple times, so that only over the period of years they become experienced enough to verify those procedures less. So this added to the overall cost of quality. So they adopted PTC's Vuforia Studio to create an immersive mixed reality inspection experience using HoloLens 2, which is much more advanced than HoloLens 1. Plus, they also integrated the insights or the data which is taken out from the Volvo engines through the internet infrastructure to the cloud to the ThingWorks IoT platform and brought back into the augmented reality experience. So a proper digital thread integration they have done. As you see in this picture here, this person is wearing this HoloLens. You see he is seeing first step, second step, third step in front of him, and each step is highlighted as to what needs to be done. And in some steps, the various parameters at that point of quality inspection of the engine comes to in his view with this HoloLens, and he clicks it OK or not OK. If he clicks not OK, then I think he gets another field where he types or he says it is not OK because of so and so reason, and it gets captured. So once the quality inspection is over, just like you do with a normal documentation process, things are all captured in the HoloLens itself, and then that goes back to the other people concerned. If something is not okay, then it is redone. So this procedure has saved them thousands of euros per station per year. That's a significant saving. And it has also helped them to gain competitive recruitment advantages. Plus, they could get very closer to their goal of zero parts per million, zero defects per million. So because they cannot go wrong, it's all there in front in the physical context in front of the engine. It is showing what needs to be checked, and you check it. It is also showing the quality parameters just right in front of you in your with the HoloLens, and then you can check it okay or you can check it not okay. This example of Volvo was demonstrated in that LiveWorks event where yesterday I was showing one portion of the computer vision. In that, the first portion is basically our president is doing this quality inspection using an iPad on the Volvo engine. That is also there. So this their trucks, I think the 1 minute. Okay. So what they are saying is that they are using PTC's Vuforia Studio and the IoT platform ThingWorks in order to route their data from the physical world to the decision making in the digital world and back. This is stated by the Manufacturing Innovation and Technology Manager from Volvo Group. Next is XRO. So they are into mining, big mining equipments. Again, the same thing. They wanted to improve their worker safety and efficiency. They had outdated training methods and they did not have real-time information which made the workers to optimize their efficiency and safety. So they used Vuforia Studio to create 3D augmented reality training and maintenance instructions, also incorporating the Internet of Things data from ThingWorks, the data collected from the physical mining equipments. So they could increase the speed and accuracy of underground maintenance. They could also improve their miners' safety while increasing their earnings. So this is the statement from their principal architect. They say that their dream is to mine and operate safely while increasing our headline earnings. ThingWorks, the IoT platform for PTC, and Vuforia, the AR platform for PTC, made help them to make it a reality. So now, not only they are improving their operations, but their throughput also has increased and their revenues also have increased because they are able to upskill their workforce for modern mining. Another example is Bosch Strobel. Here their problem was their machine downtime was high, and because of that their operational efficiency and revenue was a loss. So they created AR training manuals for all the changeover procedures as well as the maintenance of their machines with Vuforia Studio. And it resulted in reducing their training time by 50% and also improving their customer satisfaction with AR experiences for service. You can see here this lady wearing a HoloLens and all these different step-by-step procedure coming in front of them using her fingers. In fact, there are certain actions which you do with HoloLens. You pinch it, click double time, you click, and all those different procedures because you see everything in air, and they are able to do the step-by-step procedures for machine operation. So they are getting into the next level of interactive training, right? And they have a USP, unique selling point, for the Bosch and Strobel machines. In fact, the same thing, they are also extended to customers who buy the machines. So if there is any maintenance and service requirements, then the people who are responsible in the customer place are also given this Vuforia Studio 3D interactive digital instructions, and it becomes very easy for them to go through the training as well as the service procedures. Now, this is a bike, or I would say the bicycle manufacturer called Cannondale. So they improved their sales and service experience. So they wanted to have a consistent message which should be given by all the retailers. Different retailers talking different sales messages was not working okay for them. So what they did was they created a AR experience for sales and marketing. So yesterday we were talking about Royal Enfield, looking at that, and Grindmasters, they used AR experience for showcasing their big machines in a trade fair like that. So what they do is they give this AR experience created ready-made to the retailers. They go and scan some barcode which is fitted or pasted on the cycle. Immediately the sales and marketing AR experience comes up, and step by step they are able to explain to the potential buyer. So first of all, because of this experience, the services becomes very differentiated when they work with customers, and the customer experience when they look at such things really improves, and the message consistency among all retailers is maintained. Again, Sulzer, which makes pumps, for them, again, they have used it in sales and marketing. So they wanted to make their technology tangible for all the customers and partners. So they have all their products created in CAD data already. With that, they created these highly immersive AR experiences with which all the product demos could be easily done with this 3D virtual experience, which also increased the engagement with their partners as well as customers. Varian is another company which used Vuforia Studio for improving their service efficiency. So here again, a lot of engineers being onboarded and they need to be productive faster with lesser cost. So they used Vuforia Studio to create step-by-step service instructions so that even lesser experienced newly onboarded engineers are guided properly through the entire service procedure. And once they go through this, it becomes very easy for them to understand because everything is visual, which is in the physical context. Plus they also used another tool of ours, Vuforia Chalk, which I think we will be uh, talking in maybe subsequent slides, for remote assistance. So again, this resulted in dramatic reduction in the service costs as well as increase the first time fix rate. So any service organization is looking for these kind of metrics: increase first time fix rate, right? Reduce the truck roll, they say the time, number of times you travel from your company to the customer and back. Also it helped in customer satisfaction and patient care. So they make all these medical equipments, which you can see here, scanners, complex equipments. So in the health field, it is very, very important for keeping those up to date, calibrated. The downtime should be minimum. Any problem happens, the service time should be minimal because it's matter of life and safety. And of course, these equipments are very, very costly as well. So they cannot afford to have downtime. So because of these technologies, they are able to, because thanks to Internet of Things, they are able to monitor the data, understand the parameters of the medical device, and they are able to predict if something is going to go wrong. And if something is going wrong, if they have to be fixed, then they use the 3D Vuforia Studio 3D experience captured, which will help the service engineer to help in the first time fix rate. Howden is a company which makes commercial pumps. Now here again, for them, the downtime of all these big equipments is very disruptive and costly. So if there is some problem, some maintenance required, they wanted a error-free and easy to understand solution for or instructions for the service engineer. So they created all that using Vuforia Studio with immersive mixed reality experience, and they gave HoloLens to the service engineers, which also has got integration with the real-time data from the machines through the IoT platform. So they also leverage the IoT platform for predictive analytics. So it will predict if something is going to go wrong. It will predict upfront so that the timely action can be taken for ensuring that these Howden uh, pumps, always are working. So they used it for this service offering also. Now, BAE Systems is another company for their hybrid propulsion systems. They used Vuforia Studio. Uh, 1 minute, why is it all? Okay. So here, I think even here it is right. So BAE Systems is another very good example. You will be seeing the live demo videos in my next session from BAE Systems. They used Vuforia Studio and HoloLens to convert all those instructions which were otherwise captured on paper or PDF into a Vuforia Studio immersive experience. These complex assembly instructions, it comes right in front of the assembly engineer, and it also gives you a 3D instructions. It also gives you a checklist or PDF instructions also in front of you, when you see through the HoloLens. And then those step-by-step instructions the assembly engineer does first time right without any problem, even a less experienced assembly engineer. So they were able to improve their assembly process by 50%, which is very, very significant. Again, they were able to improve their training by 30%. So what they did was they create all the work instructions, and which they were able to deliver in the production floor in hours at a tenth of the cost. And one good thing about all these Vuforia Studio 3D instructions is that they are real time. Any changes which is happening in the master design, the process change or the service procedures, incremental service procedure changes, all that can be changed in the authoring tool and seamlessly pushed to the experiences which is created already. So the existing experience which they might be seeing through HoloLens or mobile or iPad or computer, without even the assembly worker knowing, which he will always be getting the latest version. It will not be outdated because you update it and just publish it. It just replaces whatever is already being used. So they always get the latest information, which is not the case with our traditional methodology. If it is a paper thing, you have to say that the one which you are using is old, and then you have to remove it and you have to send new paper instructions. Even if you capture a video, the same thing has to be done. But here, everything is real time. It is published to the cloud and you are getting it from the cloud. So any changes or any incremental improvements, you again republish it into the cloud. The next time the operator launches it, it is the latest. I don't know why these fonts are of different colors. So another company is GSI. So this company, again, they used Vuforia Studio. They created step-by-step instructions and cut their training time from 5 days to 2 days. So they are into these kind of heavy equipments. So the installation takes a lot of time. So now their dealers are asking for more products of theirs to have similar AR training. Okay. Next is Sysmex. This is again a medical device company. I think I have demo videos of this also in the next session. So here their repair times and problem resolutions were quite slow, and that was impacting the technical efficiency and customer satisfaction. So why I am showing all these metrics is that it is not enough that you teach the technology. It is more important that what is it that you're going to gain from that particular technology. If that is understood and digested well by the end user, then it becomes very easy for adopting and implementing the technology. So these companies, their goal is not to use augmented reality experiences. Their goal is to take care of these challenges which they have. Now, when you look at various methods by which you can do, then they have realized that this Vuforia Studio augmented reality experience is the best one for them because it really helps them with overcoming these challenges. And it also helps them in working in a new, totally different way, which is easily understandable, more appealing to the young and old, service people or maintenance people. Also, it becomes very easy for capturing the intrinsic knowledge which is there with the subject matter expertise and make it available enterprise wide. So again, here Sysmex, they have all their machines, medical devices, 3D CAD data. They created using that the step-by-step 3D work instructions to deliver real-time, up-to-date information to the technicians. So the outcome is they improved their training and service processes, which also maximize their equipment uptime, improved their customer satisfaction, and also help them in a market differentiation. Same goes with Phoenix Contact, where they have used it for improving their manufacturing efficiency across their organization. So what they want to do, they wanted to reduce the setup times of their complex injection molding system. So they make injection molding machines, and then this Vuforia Studio AR experiences help them to easily visualize all the 3D step-by-step instructions for the retooling. So it also is integrated with the IoT data. So now they have the correct and necessary information in the context of the machine in the shop floor, thus saving a lot of time and reducing the machine downtime during retooling. So this is another company which makes pulp and paper. So again, they had high cost of service and they used Vuforia Studio and integration with the ThingWorks, which helped them to reduce cost, improve safety and communication, and boost their customer satisfaction. So that was the customer metrics on Vuforia Studio. So as I mentioned, Vuforia Studio leverages the existing 3D CAD data, which will be the design data of their own products. Now the third element is called Vuforia Engine. Now this Vuforia Engine is mostly used to create one-off wow experiences. Mainly it is used for sales and marketing. So suppose you go to a trade fair, say for example, all these yearly automotive fair which happens in Delhi, for example. Nowadays, if you go to all these, global car manufacturers, you will see that they will hand over to you one iPad like this. And just by pointing towards that vehicle which is there at that booth, you would be able to actually interact with the vehicle. You would be able to appreciate all the internal equipments inside without opening the car, because everything is shown to you in a virtual 3D experience through such devices. Suppose you see this car here, something like a silver color. You would like to know, what if I paint it red? Suppose how does a red car looks like? In this, the car is QX50. So from this Vuforia engine experience through the iPad, there will be a widget or a button or an icon where you click and it will say color, and you select the color and immediately the color changes to a complete red. You will not even realize that it is not real. So through the iPad, what you see is a completely red painted car. So you can actually appreciate. And then you can also go around the car. So what is actually happening is the entire car information is created as an experience digitally, and it is superimposed into the exact scale in real time over the physical car. And you are actually interacting with that digitally superimposed car. And it looks so real that you will not even be able to realize that there's something superimposed. You will realize, you will think, or you will experience in such a way that you will see that this is the actual physical components which is with which you are interacting. So this was done by our partner called Visionaries for this company Infinity, and they will give you one iPad if you go to their showroom, and you can actually interact with the car completely. So they have used it very much in auto shows, and in dealerships in a very cost efficient way. So here what they do is they make it as a one time experience. So here Vuforia engine. So the here we may not use a CAD tool. We will use something which can be created from scratch with a lot of libraries. Like for example, Pokemon Go game, which I was talking about, that was created in Vuforia engine. So the elements of this experience is created could be created by another tool called Unity, which is freely available in the market. But once you create all that content, now for making that content into an AR experience, an interactive AR experience, and publishing it to the cloud so that it is made available in these such devices, and you also want to say that it will be launched by different methods, like I was mentioning, by ThingMark or by model target or by spatial target or by image target. All that things is decided within the Vuforia engine. It is done, it's developed with Vuforia engine platform, and then it is published for use. So here in Vuforia engine, you may end up doing a lot of codings. So usually specific developers use this kind of technology. The input may come from tools like Unity, etc. Even it could be a combination of something which would have created in 3D Studio Max or Maya and all those things, and bring it here. So usually it is being used for such consumer goods or such automotive experience and sales and marketing, or furniture and retail like IKEA, etc. Or it could be also used for academics, for teaching or creating certain contents which is specific to certain engineering disciplines, like I was talking about the differentials. So these, what we say is that Vuforia engine you use for creating one-off experiences, which is quite rich. And the end customer is also like that. Like for example, this car, when it is launched, you will create all that. But when you do a manufacturing and service instructions, etc., it cannot be one-off. It has to be real time. It has to be changing. So that is where we suggest that you use Vuforia Studio for that, because it is linked to your design information, which is available in the 3D CAD data. But it doesn't say that you do not use Vuforia engine for service and maintenance instruction. There is, but it is a best practice which we suggest, because anything which you create in a service and maintenance environment, it has to be real time. It has to be updated information. So it cannot be created and then changed as and when required. But these kind of sales and marketing experiences can be created for that launch, and then after the launch, that's it. Till that car undergoes any change, you keep showing that for the wow factor. So this example I will be showing in the next session as a demonstration video. Another customer again is W Motors. This is also created by our partner Visionaries. So here their problem was that buyers were finding it very difficult to imagine how their design selections would look in the real world. So any customizations if you do, you are actually not sure how it will look. So it was creating some delay in the final sales and production. So this AR application with the Vuforia engine allowed the customer to visualize their customizations in real time. As I was mentioning, changing the color on, a lot of things you can actually built in the Vuforia engine. So once you are able to customize your product, which you see in front of you, then the customer is really able to appreciate that customization. And then that customization can be immediately implemented and the product can be delivered to the customer. So here, this helped them to shorten their sales cycles and engage better with the customers in the design process. Another company, which is Vivino, so they make wines. So here their problem was that the customer, while choosing a bottle of wine, the the task was little daunting because they had many options to choose with. So the customers wanted more information about each and every wine before making a purchase. How do you make it available for him at his fingertips? So he may come with a mobile. How do you make it available in mobile? You may have some nice catalogs, then you'll have to make him go through all those catalogs. But instead of that, if it is made easily available as a 3D visual instructions with the wine bottle coming in 3D and all other details about that also coming along with that, then the customer is able to easily, you know, browse through in his mobile and is able to make selections. Some of these experiences also include some nice, videos from experts or wine tasters giving their opinion, etc. Just like we look at the customer review when you go and purchase on Amazon online, but here you are seeing it right there at the shop. So they created an app using image recognition. So you go and scan with your mobile camera the image of that wine, and or the label which is there on the bottle, and you can immediately see all the information. So it is like you are not the bottle, and anything and everything specific to that bottle is then brought out. Just let me know if there is a internet lag in between. Am I going okay? You are able to see
Yes,
Vivino
sir.
slides now? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So here, this application, this app. So in Vuforia engine, what is done? In Vuforia Studio, the difference between Vuforia engine and Studio is, in Vuforia Studio, you use that one app called Vuforia View to launch all the different experiences, right? But in Vuforia engine, you can create customized apps. Say for this guy, this customer Vivino, they will name their app as Vivino app, Vivino wine app or something like that. So they will use that particular app to bring the information about their products. So that is what you can do with Vuforia engine. You can make it for Android app, you can make it for Windows, or you can make it for iOS. So people make their own customized apps using Vuforia engine with all that experience, and it will launch in that particular app. Whereas Vuforia Studio, we already have an app called Vuforia View. All the experience is launched through that one app, whether it is for Android or iOS, or whether it is for mobile or iPad or computer, etc. It will be that one particular app. So app development is also part of the Vuforia engine scheme of things. Another company is Lego, which everybody knows. And here they wanted to have the children a connected digital experience so that they can interact with their physical toys better. So what they did is, uh, we call it as Thing Mark or Woo Mark. A Woo Mark which is there on the toy, if they scan it, immediately all the experiences come in your mobile device. So they have done the coding in such a way that either you can scan it and see it, and they also put one incentive to that the more number of scans you do, you will get more upgrades to your game. So this really help the children to use this technology and appreciate their toys. And they had this particular experience downloaded 2.7 million times in the first 60 days, and it won them the Editor's Choice Award at the London Toy Fair. And it was judged to be number one kids app in these countries, US, Denmark, UK, and Germany, when it was released in the Apple and Google store. So you can really make these experiences very interactive and wow, for children also. So Lego used Vuforia engine experience for that. Again, Mercedes, you might have seen this demonstration or video elsewhere in YouTube, etc. For a Mercedes customer, If you get into the car, there are a lot of things inside the Mercedes car. All the dashboard components, the different features and functionalities. How do you understand that? Do you have to sit through a complex catalog and understand that? Or do you get a very easy to use experience in your mobile to understand each and every app? So they really want to distinguish themselves, take away this physical manual way of understanding all the features of the car, which they felt that, they bring this way, it will become innovative. So they created one app, Mercedes-Benz app using Vuforia engine. You get into the dashboard and look at the dashboard through the mobile camera, right? It immediately brings up each and everything which focus on. It gives the information of all that features. So the app was built in such a way that the first time owner of the car with a mobile is able to understand each and every function of that which is available inside the console or the cockpit, we say, of the Mercedes Benz. So it really makes the owner or the driver also easy to understand, and also the customer satisfaction increases. And there are so many other things also they built in the same app, which is related to the sales and marketing. Then Fujitsu, which is into high tech, again for improving their efficiency and productivity, they used Vuforia engine, and they created all these AR assembly guide, which was integrated with all the other systems. So here you can see this guy wearing a HoloLens and going through the step-by-step instructions. Here it is, this high-tech companies, unlike discrete manufacturing companies, most of their, products are one-off. It is not like if there is a, say, for example, if you take a HP workstation, some serial number, the HP workstation, that serial number, and HP workstation, another series, will be totally different. The reuse between those components will be much lesser, except for the external, maybe sheet metal, etc., because the technology would have totally changed. So this, what we have seen is that these high-tech companies like HP, Dell, they use those products with which they can create the designs and other related artifacts one time, and after that, that complete set is an archive. Then they do everything from scratch for the new product. Unlike automotive companies and industrial equipments or aerospace, where 60 to 40% of the design is reused. So there, and it is also improved. There is a change process happening, and it is improved. So in such cases, Vuforia Studio stands out to be more useful. In these high-tech industries, since mostly it is one-off, they use Vuforia engine. So here the outcome with which they use this AR assembly guide is that their overall assembly time reduced by 19% and their installation time by 42%. Right? So this is the statement from the senior vice president. This technology has enabled us to provide a solution to a significant customer challenge and bring in new business that wouldn't have been possible otherwise. Again, this is Coca-Cola. For improving their customer engagement, they wanted to do a holiday campaign that would differentiate them from the competition. So they partnered with our partner Tactic Studio to build an interactive augmented reality experience with Vuforia engine for all their existing applications that worked on cans and bottles. So that increased the customer engagement and retainment, and the activation of the app in the first week were in thousands. So such kind of things, when you build, it increases the customer satisfaction. So you just scan the can, and then all those experiences, world-class experiences, come to the fore through the mobile devices. So that was on Vuforia engine. Now we will talk about a remote assistance solution called Vuforia Chalk. So actually, what is Vuforia Chalk? I would say, to put in a simple terms, Vuforia Chalk is like a WhatsApp video call between two people. But the additional thing which you can do is that you can put chalk marks on what you see, and you can actually share with each other any particular requirement. Say if somebody is assisting somebody else for a service or for a maintenance, right? You can actually guide the other person by putting chalk marks with your fingers. And these chalk marks which you put on your mobile is also replicated in the other person's mobile. You're also doing a video and audio call along with that, but you are putting chalk marks. Now, the augmented reality thing which is there in this Vuforia chalk is that these chalk marks stick to the image which you see through the mobile camera. Even if you move the mobile out and then again bring it in, you will see that this chalk marks is exactly on the same spot where you put. Say for example, if I am seeing this particular equipment here through a mobile device, and suppose I want to tell somebody that a particular bolt of some size and torque is to be used in this area. If you can see this highlighter which I am rotating. Now, if there was, how do you say it through a mobile video call? How will you tell a person that I want to focus on this particular bolt hole and this is where you have to put that particular specification of a bolt? How do you say that? You only can do a visual, I mean, vocal instructions. You can say that hole, which hole, the hole one from the first from the left or first from the top. You need to give some, vocal instructions. But what if I get my finger to be used on the mobile device and around that particular hole I put a chalk mark by circling it around with my fingers? So you are pinpointing that particular bolt hole, and the same is replicated in the other person's mobile, and he exactly understands this is the hole which he's talking about. Now, for by chance you move your mobile out and bring it in into the same, bring into the focus of that same equipment, your camera is focusing the, you'll find that that chalk mark is still there around that particular hole location itself. That is the augmented reality piece in Vuforia Chalk. So this has become so helpful for remote assistance for multiple customers. Again, Vuforia Chalk was adopted by Toyota. As I was mentioning, they wanted subject matter experts to remotely assist the contract workers on weekends. So they used Vuforia Chalk to actually, help them by putting chalk marks over a Vuforia Chalk call. Now, another difference between Vuforia Chalk. So Vuforia Chalk is actually a video call between two people. And how does it happen? You have to actually register that person's email ID. And you also have a administration rights. So only administrators will be given some access and others will be given certain accesses. It is not like WhatsApp, anybody can do anything. In WhatsApp, anybody can change an icon. Anybody can post anything. It's not like that. So here it is a proper commercial tool, right? Where two people in a highly secured environment, only those people who are registered by the administrator using their email ID, you will be able to call them. Or another way is you host a session, just like we do for Zoom meeting, send a code to those people and only those people enter into the hosted session. And then it is highly encrypted, highly secured. It is not anything other than these people will not come. You cannot simply, invite somebody to WhatsApp or add somebody who is already, create a group and add somebody who is already in WhatsApp. You cannot do that. So that is why Toyota selected Vuforia Chalk. It is also, so it's highly secured and safe. Plus you have this augmented reality chalk capability. You will appreciate that when I show the demo video in my next session. So just understand that it is like a audio video call through your mobile phone, where you are able to put chalk marks using your fingers around the objects which you see through the mobile camera of the other person. You can also make it that you can see the objects through your camera and share it with others, or you can say that while I call, I want to see whatever is seen through the other person's mobile camera. So this Howden also used Vuforia Chalk for specialized remote assistance. So what happened? It helped them in safe communication and support from workers and customers. It improved their customer satisfaction. It also lowered service and travel cost. LG compressors in Coimbatore, their one of their biggest challenge was in Indonesia. If there is a problem in their engine compressor, their subject matter expert has to fly to Indonesia to the site and to explain them in person how to service that particular faulty compressor. One is the language issue, right? Other one is you can only help them if you are able to show it as if you are in person. So otherwise, in a video call, you cannot say, okay, go here, take that. Now there's a lot of confusion. First of all, you also have the language problem. So when we have shown this Vuforia chalk, we said you can do a audio video call through a mobile to the person who is there in Indonesia. You don't have to speak in their language. You put chalk marks and guide him through your mobile or your iPad. Do this, go to this particular thing, turn this. If you want to say turn something, you can put a clockwise or anti-clockwise arrow mark. Even you can write with your finger in one word or two words what you want to convey. That's good enough. So when we had shown this, they really found that this Vuforia chalk is going to help them in reducing their cost to a great extent. They don't have to send an expert at beck and call from India all the way to other countries, maybe Indonesia. They can simply get into a chalk call with the customer who is there in another part of the world and guide him properly. So Howden, by employing this technology, could lower their service and travel costs. That's another big advantage you get from chalk. Okay. Same. So Toyota again, as I was talking about, it helped in the safety and collaborative communications in their factory. So they gave this Vuforia chalk capability to all their contractors, and during these weekends, it decreased their overall travel cost and increased the safety and compliance for all the requirement of maintenance of the machines and factory assets. So this is an example where they said, on holidays, which I was explaining, the contractors do the work. So the Toyota Motor Corporation employees had to travel there all the way, one or two people to guide them. That was totally reduced by using Vuforia chalk and improving the communication between the Toyota Motor Corporation employees and the contractors. Bharat Forge is an Indian big customer, in a forging customer, which used chalk. So again here, visiting the shop floor to resolve operations, that was their challenge. Expert might not be available within the plant, they may be traveling elsewhere. So by using Vuforia chalk call, they could remotely assist the frontline workers to give instant support wherever they are. As long as their mobile is on and connected to the internet, they can get connected to the people who are working in the plant, just like that. So that really helped them to give remote assistance wherever they are. So Bharat Forge, I hope it's part of the Kalyani Group, the world's #1 forging company based in Pune. So they have now our ThingWorks platform, they have our Vuforia Studio platform, and they also have the Vuforia Chalk platform. So with that, I end my session, which is termed as PTC's AR platforms with specific industry customer metric. So you saw Vuforia expert capture, use for remote assistance, or basically for the expert instructions which can be easily made available to all the other people in the, it's not basically remote assistance, it's basically helping training, service, maintenance, etc., where the experts knowledge is captured very well and it is made available to everybody else through various devices like mobile or tab or eyewear or HoloLens, so that they can follow the step-by-step procedure as exactly to the T as done by the expert. Next you saw Vuforia Studio, where again it will help for all these different use cases, be it manufacturing related or service related or sales and marketing. But there you are leveraging the 3D data, 3D design data of the product, the discrete manufacturing company's product, to create those 3D instructions. So there it may be a real time changes in the design is easily made available as a change to the 3D experience. So in such cases, Vuforia Studio is used. It can also integrate with IoT data. The data which you collect from the physical machines can also be integrated. The third one you saw was Vuforia Engine. So there we create AR experiences one-off. Mostly it is used for sales and marketing, but it's not limited to sales and marketing. But it is mostly used by developers, where in Vuforia Engine compared to Vuforia Studio, coding is much more. A lot of customizations can be done by coding. Another difference is that in Vuforia Studio, you use one app called Vuforia View, which is the universal app for launching the experience. Whereas with Vuforia Engine, you can create your own customized apps for different platforms, right? And for specific different products, customized apps. But it is mostly used for engaging sales and marketing experience one time or twice. And the last one which you saw is Vuforia Chalk, which is mainly used for remote assistance, where you can do a audio video call and also put chalk marks on your mobile, which will be reflected exactly on the other person's mobile around the object which you are seeing through his camera, and you can really assist. Say, for example, I'll give a very simple example. Uh, I was in Bangalore and my car is parked here in Coimbatore. I don't take my car from Coimbatore to Bangalore. You know the Bangalore traffic. So my son, he's learning the car. So when he went to take the car, you see that the front tire is flattened. I mean, it is punctured. Now, what do? So you need to guide him to go to the boot, open it, and there are certain, the stepney is kept inside. Before that, you have to open certain covers which is there on the top, and then you have to unfasten the belt with which the stepney tire is fixed. The toolkit is also there. So you have to guide him to take where the spare tire is there, how to take it out, and then how to remove the front tire. Before that, you have to jack it up, and then where you have to fit the jack, and then how to unloosen the bolts and take out the punctured tire and then fix the spare tire, and that procedure. Suppose if I do a WhatsApp call, then I have to keep giving voice call. Go to the boot space, open the boot space. Do you see that particular cover? So only if my communication is very effective, he will be able to understand the first time. But if I had a Vuforia chalk call, then what I will see the car through his mobile. I will put the chalk mark. I will put an arrow mark and say, this is where the stepney is. Now you remove this cover, take it out. I put an up arrow. Now this particular belt you unclip. I put an arrow or I circle it. So it becomes very easy for him. Then I say, this is the spot where you have to put the jack and raise the car. Rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise, whatever may be the case, to raise it or lower it. These bolts, you loosen it. So I can put chalk marks and give instructions, which becomes very easy for the entire procedure. So chalk is, we made it free during this COVID period till October. A lot of customers had registered and they really found it useful. Now they have become, they found that this particular technology is much, much useful, and now they have started buying it. So we made it available for almost a year during this entire COVID-19 period, from last December till this October. So many companies leverage this technology. So one, mobile to mobile is also possible. Another one is, if you want to host a session through your computer to mobile, we call it as hosting session. So the one person has to have the compatible mobile. Again, here the mobile compatibility is important. Chalk will work only on specific mobiles which has got either AR core or AR kit technology built in. So all the Apple phones, iOS phones are compatible. All the iPads and iPhones. Many Android phones, mostly it is Samsung and some other Google phones. We keep updating the list, which has got this AR core or AR kit technology. They are compatible. Some phones which we may not have put in the list till they become compatible, because they would not have been exclusively tested by us, but they will have those AR core and AR kit technology. So only certain compatible, not certain, many set of compatible phones which has this AR core or AR kit technology is compatible for Vuforia Chalk. That is one difference when you use this technology, and we tell the customer clearly that ensure at least one or two devices which are compatible in your organization. So that's it for all the, in fact, we also have few more technologies, but this is all as a, futuristic roadmap. Like we have something called spatial toolbox. When you go to that argallery.video, you'll also see demo videos on, Vuforia spatial toolbox. Then we also have technologies where you can, do spatial computing, where you can capture the entire space with a partnership with another company called, I think, Matterport, and then you use that complete digital captured space to have a augmented reality understanding of the space, and do method study and transportation study, etc., to optimize all that. So that's called Vuforia spatial computing. So they are all under development. Many demonstrations have been done in our live works, kind of yearly uh, programs. We do it in every year. We call it as live works. So it's a big mega event which happens every year. Usually every time it happens in Boston in person, people attend there. But this year we did it virtually because of the COVID-19. So those technologies were demonstrated by our reality lab, which develops all these new technologies and also adds on to these technologies. But these four, which I mentioned, are in production and is available for both commercial version and except for Vuforia Chalk, all the other three technologies is also available in our academic version also. So when you see the academic program, I will talk about that. So now we am open to questions. I think we have 5 minutes. Are there questions already? Okay.
No, sir. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Means, if I want to use it for this one, for the laboratories in the educational institutions, can you give us one example related to that one? Like anything like mechanical lab or electrical lab?
Which one? Before a chalk?
Yeah. What are the tools you have described today, right? All the three tools. So can you
Yes.
relate it to that?
Say for example, if it is mechanical lab. Now, if you want to create some virtual 3D experience instructions on using some machines which are, or using some equipments which are available in the mechanical lab, you can do that. You can use maybe Vuforia Studio if you have a 3D model of the equipment which is there in the mechanical lab. Maybe the service and maintenance or the operating instructions of that particular equipment in the mechanical lab, you can create with the 3D model as complete assembly model which is available. You can create animations, animated step-by-step instructions on how to work with that equipment, or if something happens, how to maintain or service that equipment, and make that experience available through mobile phone or iPad in your mechanical lab. Second thing is, if you want to have a remote assistance done somebody gets stuck or he does not know, in spite of all that instructions, he wants to understand from a faculty as to how to operate that particular equipment in your mechanical lab. Then the faculty can be anywhere. He can enter into a Vuforia chalk call and he can guide him by putting chalk marks through that Vuforia chalk call and make him understand how exactly to do good about whatever is his requirement while doing a experiment or a project in the mechanical lab. Plus, if they are doing some projects, even if the faculty is traveling elsewhere, they can get assistance remotely through a Vuforia chalk call. Then in Vuforia engine, you may or may not use. Suppose you don't have the 3D CAD data, you want to create a one-off instructions related to the mechanical lab. Say, for example, I was just thinking there are different equipments in the mechanical lab. Now, if you want to say that I want to have a 3D experience in guiding a new student as to where are the different equipments placed, how to navigate to reach that equipment, what is this equipment, what does it consist of, what is its different parameters and features and all those things, one off, right? Because that equipment is not going to change. So you can also look at Vuforia engine and create an app specific to that mechanical lab, which will say guide you through the mechanical lab and also tell you, okay, this particular equipment is this, and these are the various parameters, features, this is the interface, etc. And the next machine which is there, it is some other machine. It is used for this, maybe a planar machine or a CNC machine or a drilling machine, whatever it is. Uh, like that, each machine information can be created as a 3D experience, which is one off, and the student can be guided on each and every machine. Just like the example I have shown for the QX50 car, where all the features of that particular car is shown through a Vuforia engine experience. So you can think of that. But while for operating that machine, certain specific steps, standard operating procedures, specific experiments which you have to do as part of the mechanical lab, that you may create leveraging the 3D model of the machine experiences, and that will help the student to work with the machine. For remote assistance from a faculty, you can think of using Vuforia chalk. So did I answer your question?
Thank you, sir. And there is one more question. Any academic institutions like IITs or NITs
Yes,
using
yes, yes,
these
yes.
tools?
IIT Delhi is a classic example where, let me bring IIT Delhi, there is a lab created called Foundation for Smart Manufacturing. So in that, 1 minute. In fact, I was going to tell that in the academic program in the next session, but I can show it now itself. Where is IIT Delhi? Yeah. So are you seeing this PPT or I have to share it again, I think, right?
Sir, you have to share it one more time.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me share my screen. To see this PPT?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So this Foundation for Smart Manufacturing has been set up in IIT Delhi, Hoskas campus. This is also in collaboration with Automation Industry Association and Department of Heavy Industry. So it is a fully integrated smart manufacturing and learning facility for discrete hybrid manufacturing segments such as automotive, machine tools, custom consumer durables, processed food, and others. All these different companies have, come together along with IIT Delhi. So PTC's ThingWorks, CAD Creo, and Vuforia platforms are being used in IIT Delhi. So they have set up these kind of stations. In these stations, you also find there is a robot working at the end, and each station does one functionality. So it actually takes a component with through RFID, it understands whether this component is right or not. Then it does a assembly fitment in another station. Then it does another complex assembly fitment in another station. So each time everything is monitored through the IoT sensors, and it is shown as a dashboard in the ThingWorks, digital twin dashboard. And then finally, when it comes to the robot, it checks the finished component and then packs it, puts into a box. That is what these different machines do. They also have a material handling robot which replenishes the inventory goes down. Now any maintenance or service problems of these machines is all captured in augmented reality experience using Vuforia Studio. And if a person has to rectify something, you will see all those PLCs, etc., at the bottom, which could be from Festo or from Rockwell, etc. So here, any procedure on how to maintain this or service it or repair it is captured in the Vuforia Studio augmented reality experience. So this is one very classical example in IIT Delhi. This is the layout of that FSM. So you have the first machine or first station where you have the raw part, and there the raw part is loaded through the material handling thing. There is a quality inspection done, and each and every pallet is with RFID, and then from this conveyor it goes to the next conveyor. In the second station you do a axisymmetric part storage, QC, and insertion assembly process. Again in the third you do a prismatic part assembly and screwing. Again it is inspected, and then it comes to the fourth and fifth, and finally the robot does the packaging. So this is the overall setup, and they are using all our tools. They are using Vuforia Studio, they are using Vuforia Chalk, they are using ThingWorks for IoT, they are using Windchill and Creo and MathCAD. So mainly Creo and ThingWorks and Vuforia Studio and Chalk they are using for these things. In Creo they are using for the 3D modeling and detailed design of all their different components, design validation, and ThingWorks they're using for all the operational intelligence and overall equipment efficiency kind of parameters of all these different stations. Plus they are also using it for remote diagnostics of the complete data which they are collecting for the machines while it is being operated multiple times, and also for analytics. And Vuforia Studio and Chalk is used for AR enabled service instructions, also remote expert collaboration. So this is a classic case in the education institution where these technologies are being used. There are so many other institutions also where they might be using ThingWorks and Vuforia Studio. Many private institutions. Now recently we have implemented in BITS Pilani, where they have set up a IoT and AR lab, which is used by uh, industry people when they go through that work integrated learning program for 4 years. So for remotely they interact with this lab. Everything is through ThingWorks and AR platform. So now it is under implementation. Once I think because of COVID-19 it got delayed. Otherwise March the lab was to be launched. So there they are using, they have put all these technologies have been put for helping work integrated learning program. Everything is operated from remote. Then PSG College of Technology, they have also recently implemented, this is in Coimbatore. They have implemented already. They have created a existing manufacturing lab in production engineering into a smart manufacturing lab where all their machines have been connected with retrofitted with sensors, and all the data connected and collected in ThingWorks. AR instructions have been created for the machines for certain things, and it is called as a smart manufacturing lab. So our partner has done that, and I think they were every third Saturday of the month they were keep making it open for people to come and appreciate that. IIT Delhi also has a program. In fact, if you go to search FSM IIT Delhi, you will have a site. In that site, in fact, you can register for a half-day tour for you to be conducted half day to explain the importance of these technologies for digital transformation and industry 4.0, and then they will walk you through all these different setups which is already there. And the students who are there, the faculty who are there, it is headed by Professor Ja. from the mechanical engineering department, and the students are making every day they are working on some new projects inside that FSM. They're also planning to increase this particular investment in their Sonipat campus and make it bigger. So these are some of the examples which I can give you. We are also talking to different NITs under the Government Skill Development Initiative. This is the PhD college which I was talking about. They have one link which you can register. So they walk you through this, they will introduce you to Industry 4.0. They will give you a tour on the digital engineering, digital operation, digital service thing. Then there are a lot of other institutions where our technologies are being used. In Bangalore itself, I'll have to check, are they still open today, or in this COVID-19 period. We have a college called Nitte Meenakshi. There there is a IoT and AR lab set up. Even students have done some good projects also. And then NIET, Noida Institute of Engineering Technology in Noida. There they have put. So in my academic program session, in the third session, I will make you understand how do we go about academic program and how it is set up in different such colleges.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Master of Computer Applications. You may learn IoT, ThingWorks platform, the different codings, or the as I mentioned, Vuforia Engine and Vuforia Studio also requires a lot of coding if you want to do extreme customizations. So that could be one area where MCA students can actually help with. How to set up an AR lab, we will talk in the third session. We will talk about the session which is known as PTC's academic program. We will talk about that in the third session. Right. So in the interest of time, we will close this session. I think I have answered whatever questions are there. We'll meet again at 12 o'clock for the next session, where you will also appreciate the different demonstrations of these technologies live. It is all demonstrations captured in videos. I will walk you through that.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, sir. So we all meet after exactly at 12 o'clock.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yes. Dear participants, before logging out, please fill the feedback form